Yo, we're leveling up. This is the FXLR Rebuild 2.5. Hey, can we turn the fan off, guys? Appreciate it. What's up, guys? Oh, what do we have here? As you all saw, we said adios to the bag set. The Pelican 1430 bags are off into the wind. They went off to one of the homies in Arizona where they're gonna go on his Softail standard, I believe. So before we jump into this and start cutting away, showing everyone what we have, I wanna give a huge shout out to Elite Touring Innovations. They're gonna be based out of Canada. You're also gonna be seeing something come shortly after. This is package 1 of 2 for the new bag setup. Man, hurry up and show us that. If you haven't done so already, be sure to check out the links in the drop down section below, which are going to include links to the Patreon, links to the shop front, and of course be sure and check out Elite Touring Innovations on Instagram, as well as just check out their site. It's going to be linked down below. I want to give a huge shout out to them. Thank you so much for reaching out, and I'm excited for this partnership. It's going to just be a slight little facelift, a difference in look for old FXLR Ron Burgundy. Christmas, bro. Alright, that was a little unnecessary, a little dramatic, but what we have here, aside from a mess, is going to be a set of Pelican 1485 air cases. Now, what's the difference between a Pelican case and a Pelican air case? Well, glad you asked. It's going to be a whole lot lighter, but without sacrificing the structural integrity that has been come to know of Pelican. Now, with these mounts, that you do have a couple other options of bags that you can run with the mounts that they sell. But a quick note, whenever you do purchase these items, that they do not come with bags. So here is the Pelican 1485 air case, and a little attention to detail. They've also included the Elite Touring Innovations decal on the Pelican case. So you have some little knobs. We'll open them up here in a bit. This is kind of trippy. It's got a little level inside. There's that level. It's gonna be hard to see. More hardware. The packaging is really nice, very professional, and this is the main bread and butter of the mounting hardware. But we got something here. Yo, this is dope. Again, we're gonna show y'all once we get everything unboxed. Look at that. That's pretty dope. You have a second section. It's a fitter piece that sits. Look at that. That looks clean. I'm gonna guess this is whenever you don't have your bags running, that you can cover up your mounting hardware, and it's really gonna just clean up the look of the bike. That it doesn't look bad when you're running a quick detached hardware kit and you don't have bags on it. This is one of those items where you didn't know you needed it, and that it's that attention to detail that I'm really excited for partnering up with Elite Touring Innovations. So again, huge thank you guys. Do me a favor, if you haven't checked them out on Instagram, do so, since they were kind enough to jump on board with the channel, partner up with your boy. And then here is the mounting hardware. That's what it looks like. Here is the one side, and then here is the other side, where that's what it kind of looks like. Again, we'll do a close-up, 2 for each bag, and then 2 for the other bags. It comes with instructions. It has Elite Touring Innovations Performance Case Bracket Install Instructions. Here's how it looks. And it gives you images of how it's supposed to pair up, which is really great. Sometimes you get these instructions, you're just like, what do they mean? Here's another instance where they have a detailed image of those first pieces that we got, followed by the second that fit onto that quick release system. And even how to drill out the holes, where it has a piece of tape where you're essentially, what you're gonna do is get a piece of painter's tape, put this on the painter's tape, outline it, and then you're just gonna mark your holes. And that's what this displays here, shows you what to do. And then the last page Shows you how it's supposed to look on the bag, on the inside look, as well as on the outside, which is 10 out of 10. That one had tons of goodies. And then we have this. I like that it has Trask on it. Trask Performance, giving it a quick cameo inside this video. Yo! Yo! This is dope. What is that, Connor? Well, unravel this to show y'all up close. This is an oil cooler kind of cover display that it's a hexagon pattern, and it's gonna sit where the oil cooler goes, and it's just gonna give it a nice little look, a little difference in look, that they even etched Elite Touring Innovations here, where I'm gonna guess that displays the front. That's cool, that's really dope. Yo, we're leveling up. This is the FXLR Rebuild 2.5. Why is it so dark outside? We had to take a quick break, go enjoy some riding before the rain came. So what we ended up getting is going to be a bag bracket kit. This is going to be for your M8s. They have several variations. You can do it for Dyna FXRs, and then this is for your Softail M8s. The craftsmanship that goes into this is just wicked amazing. Now, before we step any further, I do want to make note that when you do order the bracket for the quick release system, it does not come with bags. Elite Touring Innovations was extremely kind enough to send us a set of Pelican 1485 bags so we get the full experience. And again, I want to give a huge shout out and special thanks to Elite Touring Innovations for partnering up with this video. Be sure and give them a follow at Elite Touring Innovations. The link is down below, as well as it just flashed on screen. And check out their website, elitetouringinnovations.com. So what you're gonna get with your kit is going to be the instructions as we briefly went over them. They are extremely detailed with photos. That goes a long way. We're gonna quickly touch base on one of the first videos that we did with a fairing install from a company that shall not be named, but they did not include any instructions. And when I went to reach out to them saying, hey, I'm having a little bit of trouble, they gave me the whole, oh, we have photos, but they're in the works. And then the guy's on vacation, etc., etc. It was just long story short, it was a headache. And this is not the case. They took the time to provide with very detailed instructions with photos, which goes a huge way. It'll show you it's bolded, you have special indentation, you have red text. It is going to make the user experience so much greater. The performance caser bracket install instructions, and here they include that the installation time is typically 45 minutes to 1 hour for an experienced mechanical hand. So that way, if it takes you longer than that, do not be distraught. Just consider it that it's a little bit more of an investment of your time for an awesome, awesome experience. So what we have here is going to be some of the brackets that go. This is whenever you are not running the bags, this is how it will look. But if you want it to look a little bit nicer, you can have a little plug on it. And here in this area, it's gonna be threaded, which is pretty dope. It's just, again, attention to detail. So you're gonna have two for each side of your bike for the Fender Struts. So you have front and rear, and then you have these pieces that are gonna go on the back of your bags to attach to your quick release system. It's gonna sit like that. So this is on the bag, it sits here. Look at that, it's just a perfect fit. It's not tight, it's not loose. Look at that. When you're not using your bags, you can cover them up, and this is how it will look, a little bit cleaner. And then this little portion is threaded. So you have your hole. So here you have a hole with nothing in it, but then this portion is the threaded portion here on the bottom. It's gonna be very difficult to see with the camera, but we're gonna try our best. It might be a little bit easier to see it there. And then you have your bag bracket, and it sits right there. All the hardware that's needed, and again, with the instructions, it outlines how you need to have it. So now we're gonna go ahead and jump into the install. Before we do the bag brackets, we're gonna install the oil cooler cover. Alright, and the instructions also gives you best results. They recommend required tools for install. It's going to be drills, bits, it's going to be bike or motorcycle lift. You have marker or scribe, so you can mark where these go inside the bags. Ratchet driver and hex caps bits. Whenever you get yours, you will get these same instructions. It shows you how to assemble these items. It says, please read instructions completely prior to beginning the installation. Bracket receiver configuration. Elite Touring Innovations. So these are just covers for whenever you are not running the bags. So we're gonna set these aside since we currently don't need them. We have bracket receiver configurations. One of the cool things is that they do include a level, so you can make sure that your bags are level prior to installing them on your bike. With any drilling, you have these different photos, which are your different configurations, 1 through 7 different configurations, which I thought was how you piece them together. But these are the different configurations, and then on the preceding page, it tells you what the setup is. The first one is going to be your OG Dyna, then you have Dyna with a quick detach accessory, which is the first two, OG Dyna, and then OG Dyna with a quick detach. And then moving on, it's the Dyna with the step block washer, Softail, M8 Lowrider, Street Bob, etc. is going to be number 4. If you have an M8 Softail and you order this kit, number 4 is the one that you're looking for. And then proceeding on is going to be the FXR for number 5. 6 shows to be M8 Fat Bob. 7 is the M8 Fat Bob with a quick detach accessory adapter. So again, going back to the instructions, it's going to say 4 is the Softail M8 Lowrider. So 4 is going to be one of these bigger spacers. You have 2 sets of tubing, and this one is going to be for quick detach hardware, so we don't need that since we are not running quick detach. Set that aside, and then this is the one that we're going to need. They're going to be your solid aluminum spacer. Bada bing, bada boom. Here's what it looks like. You have your multiple washers, or these washer spacers. And so number 4, it just shows a bolt, which I'm going to guess it's these longer 4 bolts. They look similar to ours, and so it's going to be one of these done. And according to the photo, it just appears to be one other washer or spacer. You have a little bit of a lip on this quick detach hardware, the exterior, and then we're going to call this the female end, that you also have an indent that it's going to marry together and give you a nice seal. So you have a bit of a lip or an edge here on the male end, and this is the female end as we're calling it, and it just marries up like that. Do all 4 of those. Insert the bolt, insert the female end, there's 2, and continue to do so till you have them all done. That's all we need for this. The next step for this is going to be for us to remove the fender strut bolts one side at a time, meaning clutch side at once, and then after we put these in, we're gonna do the brake side. So again, to recap, you're gonna remove your fender strut bolts one side at a time, clutch side or brake side. Remove the bolts that are in there, and then you're gonna replace them with these new hardware from Elite Touring Innovations. So there goes 1, there's 2. And then, now when you're doing this, you also want to make sure of tire clearance. You want to make sure that the bolt itself isn't protruding through the fender. I can't even feel it, which is dope. That's what she said. Now, if we already had it set up and we're not running bags, we could just run some of those additional bolts that we had that fit right over there, and it would secure it from falling off when you're riding. And then now it looks a little bit more blended in. And this is where the bag itself would go. Whee! So what you're gonna do is you're gonna mark, you just put the case up with the level on top and ensure that that's where you want it. And then you're just gonna scribe how it sits on the bike. Instructions call for tape, painter's tape, blue tape, whatever you have, masking tape. And what you're gonna do is just mock it up with the brackets as shown here. And then just see where you want it in relation to I ended up marking just the top half, and we're going to put it on a table, and now we'll be able to trace the outline and we'll have it mocked up, and it looks to be fairly straight on there. Bang. Psych! So we had another trip to the old hardware store. So we can remove the tape, and you're not gonna drill the other bag with the template. What you're gonna do is line your bags up back to back, and then you're just gonna mark the marks from this bag. It's gonna help give you the most mirror quality where they look almost identically even. But this little indent is gonna be facing the bottom, so you're gonna mount it like that. That's how it's gonna look on the outside. So this is how it looks, so that way you can allow a bolt to pass through. So again, ensure that the indent is facing towards the bottom, and then it just threads right in. It tells you remove the brackets from the first case. Perfect symmetry is achieved by placing the cases in a mirror image, and then pass a marker through the holes of the drilled case. So that's how it looks. And then here are the 9/16 Allen bolts that come with your kit, but you can upgrade to more of a quick release style where you won't need an Allen key to remove the bolts. You'll be able to do it with your hand. So that's what we're gonna go install with the bags right now. Holes that we have here. This was the first hole that we drilled, which is not in fact the appropriate mounting hole because nothing gets threaded. Here is the Allen bolt which goes to our Fender Struts, and then this is the quick release hardware that's behind here. And so we had to drill a secondary hole for it to feed through, and it just screws right in. Now when you are screwing this in, if you do have some issue getting it through, if you do the secondary hole, is one of the things that we noticed is sometimes we have to push the bag back to allow the bolts to feed through without any resistance, and it makes it much easier to insert your bolt. And there it is.